Hello, you are on InstaForex TV channel and I'm Kate Stichina. In the second half of the trading week, the economic calendar is more loaded with important statistics. Let's figure out which trading sentiment is dominating at the end of November. Trading sentiment on the US dollar is going to set the tone in the market. This market sentiment will depend on Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, who will speak at lunch at the Economic Club of New York. Lately, traders found out that some officials of the Federal Open Market Committee express softer rhetoric to the pace of monetary tightening. If investors discover that Jerome Powell also eases his hawkish stance, the US dollar will lose some steam. Unlike the Federal Reserve, the ECB president is faithful to ultra-loose monetary policy. From his viewpoint, massive stimulus measures are still needed on the back of the lackluster Eurozone's economy. His idea is justified that last week the market was shocked by dismal GDP data from Germany. It confirms that the most powerful Eurozone's economy is losing momentum. Tomorrow, Germany will present flash estimates on consumer inflation for November. According to the median forecast, consumer prices slowed down to 2.2% on a yearly basis. That comes as no surprise. In the previous months, annual inflation jumped to the strongest level in the recent 10 years. Nevertheless, even steady acceleration of consumer prices does not prop up the Eurozone's economy. As a result, demand for the euro is subdued. On Friday, Eurostat will post inflation data for the whole Eurozone. Annual CPI is also expected to edge down in November. The news will be of little importance to the market. Another reason behind the euro's weakness is a standoff between Italy and the EU due to the unsettled draft budget. So investors will carry on selling the euro. Market participants are allowed to manufacturing PMI from China. The thing is that industry is the key sector of China's economy. The indicator of its business activity has nearly approached the threshold of 50 points, which separates expansion from contraction in this sector. New evidence that the second largest global economy is about to cool down could entail after effects such as panic across financial markets, a downturn of stock indexes and growing demand for safe-haven assets, in particular the Japanese yen. At the same time, investors are anticipating positive outcome of the meeting between the United States and China's presidents within the G20 summit, as the state leaders could settle some burning issues about the trade conflict. Apart from the above-mentioned events, it makes sense to turn attention to other reports. Tomorrow, on Thursday, the economic calendar contains data on private capital expenditures from Australia, data on the labor market from Germany, and a report on consumer credit from the UK. Later in the global trading day, traders will absorb data from the United States. The focal point is the minutes of the policy meeting of the Federal Reserve. Besides, the US is due to release data on personal spending and consumption. In the final hours of the North American trade in November, Canada will present data on GDP for the third quarter. You were watching video Forex Trader Calendar on InstaForex TV channel with me, Kate Stichina. We wish you profitable deals with InstaForex.